Ants. What the fuck are you doing over there?
Blessed be the sinners, for the day of atonement is at hand.
Say what?
This is Blazed and Reviewed, the movie podcast that loves both fine cinema and schlock trash. Tonight we chat about Night of the Demons. Your hosts are Leo and Cody. Let's get naked and smoothie.
What a wonderful day for an exorcism.
Okay, so covering first ever podcast, we are going to be more or less watching and reviewing The Night of the Demons.
1988, classic.
Unbelievable, unmistakable. First, can we talk for just a second about the intro credits?
They're long.
Well, that's
it's in a font that's hard to read. It's a logo that looks like the movie Houseu.
House is such a great movie, though. Okay.
We might watch that one in the future.
House and Troll. Troll was another great one.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the Japanese one from the 70s called Houseu. It's a very insane movie.
Okay.
Think like proto Takashi Miike.
All I am saying is that whoever designed these graphics probably had a failed comic book line.
Well, what was your first introduction to this movie?
Okay, so my dad worked for Schnucks, and he started at Schnucks when he was 16, so over the years he worked in like every department. And, she's billed as Mimi Kinkade, not Amelia.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
It said Mimi Kinkade, and I bet if we looked at IMDb it would say Amelia Kinkade, and then for this movie billed as Mimi.
Yeah, I looked at her IMDb.
Yeah, because then that's Amelia Kinkade. Anyway, total. We're also ADHDers here. So, my dad was working in the video department when I'm like 12, and he would just bring me home random movies on Friday for the weekend. And he knew I loved horror, so he brought me 3 random movies. I couldn't even tell you what the other 2 were. Night of the Demons was one of them.
Critters.
Probably. Or what was the one with the Bloodstone Chronicles or some shit like that?
That
like the weird...
Critters. What was Critters
Bloodstone.
a ripoff? Gremlins. It was a Gremlins ripoff.
And then Munchies was a ripoff of that.
Oh, speaking of Goonies, okay, so a friend of mine, when he was a child, his mom had a van with a DVD player in it, and she thought she was playing the Goonies, but it was Ghoulies.
Oh no!
and when his sister came into the van, she's like, he just looked like he was shocked. Like he looked at me like, help me. He's in a car seat, strapped, like fucking Alex in Clockwork Orange watching the Ghoulies.
Was that so? When Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was released, it accidentally got released as a kids' film.
How many grandmas accidentally bought that?
I'm looking forward to the sequel of that one, by the way. But let's get back to this.
Yes.
So.
Schnucks video.
Video,
grocery store video.
I couldn't even tell you what the other 2 were. Like, it was like Bloodstone or something like that. So that was me.
I think 88. I was probably, it had been out for a while. Probably just my friends and I going through the horror section at the local video store, and the cover, it was probably one of the first ones you had to watch it. I can see the cover clearly.
Looking up our images for this, I couldn't find a single good, solid image of Demon Angela with the "You're invited to my party" invitation. That was the cover of the original VHS, and I could not find that image anywhere. I found a couple of recreations of fan art, but I could not find a single actual image of that. And now I'm like, did I imagine it all?
Probably. What do they call that? Mandela effect? There's an alternate universe that has that cover?
But that was the cover, wasn't it? It was Angela, and she was holding an invitation.
She was on the cover of
party.
She's on the cover, I think, of all of them.
Yeah.
Amelia Kinkade was in all the movies,
3.
and she did a dance in every single one.
And choreographed all 3, yes. And that, by itself, should be released as, archive bonus footage, because I want that... That dance scene in the first one is 4 minutes long, which means with the way it's cut, that's got to be a 10-minute dance scene floating around out there somewhere. So if anybody knows where we can get a hold of the Amelia Kinkade Night of the Demons 1988 full uncut dance scene, please send it our way.
If it survived. Yeah, I'm sure there's a 10-minute version. I'm sure
Linnea
there's a 3-hour
Quigley,
cut
if you hear
of the
this.
movie. Why would Linnea Quigley have it?
Because she would know how to get it.
She probably still has her fake boob. Because, as you know, the trivia that everyone knows is that the special effects guy who modeled her fake breast, they met on the scene of the movie, and then they got married.
They did. They're still married.
They're still married.
They're still married.
I want to add, too, that I had to watch this movie with sunglasses on because your TV upscales it. And if anyone knows what that means when you watch an old movie with that your TV's gonna like make it HD.
See, I always find it too dark.
No, it gets that effect because it doesn't like the frame rate is different. Like what is the HD frame rate? Like 60 to 120, and these are probably like 40 or whatever. And so they drop in extra frames. So you're looking at it, it looks like it's on a soundstage. Like it looks like a Doctor Who episode. It's too three-dimensional. It loses that VHS shitty quality that I love so much.
That's fair. I totally forgot to throw out in the beginning that while watching Night of the Demons 1988, we were smoking Leia OG.
Oh, yes. Why is that?
It's blazed and reviewed, and therefore...
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
And I would have turned the upscaling off, but I looked at the remote and I was just too high. I was like, well, I could do it, but I don't know how to do it. But like, it's like, give me the remote. I'm like, no. So, fun fact, that's Cathy Podewell there playing Judy. She's a little goody-goody, but she's adorable as all hell, like a little Barbie doll. And the first thing I actually ever saw her in, I was much younger, and it was like a further film she had done well after this. This was her first film. And she did this movie called Earth Angel with Eric Estrada. And it's an adorable little Susie. Do you ever see Susie Q with the pink Power Ranger? What? No?
Okay, never mind then. Anyway, but it's this adorable little teen rom-com, more or less, where Cathy Podewell plays like a 1950s famous popular prom queen who ends up dying prom night and coming back to haunt.
I think this was
and
her first
what was her name from Laverne and Shirley? The Cindy Williams is in it, and it's a fun one. But yeah, this is her first horror movie. But the fun thing is that
Here's
butt scene. There's the first one.
Butt. We're going to talk about these butts.
Cathy Podewell butt first.
Also, you know, if you can play this podcast and watch the movie at the same time, because we're...
That's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah.
But, no, Cathy Podewell in Earth Angel plays a character named Angela.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh, I get it.
It rolls around eventually and comes back to things. So I also did a little research and found out that Hull House, where they're going, where the party is a real house.
It is a real house.
It was a real house. And when they filmed in there, Linnea Quigley had said that like there was almost no set dressing involved except for like the main stuff that they brought, like the boom box and some of the other stuff. And she did say they had to add some extra cobwebbing because
but it was basically as is. And the actors did not like having to hang out in that house all the time. So like when they weren't changing or whatever, they were just always together.
Yes.
Because they didn't want to like go split
go
up
there.
in the house.
And there's a bra covered boobie. Also Cathy Podewell.
It's okay. You know, it's a tease.
Oh, the little brother, whose name I can't remember to save my life. He actually was supposed to be a major plot point where he crashes the party.
He does. That's right.
But because of labor laws, they couldn't allow him to
I'm
get
glad
into work.
because he already has too much screen time.
He
okay,
really does.
He's the worst.
Here comes your favorite character.
Here comes Sal. I love Sal
Sal
because
is the best.
First of all, this movie clearly takes place like in the Midwest somewhere.
Sal is they very clearly wanted Ralph Macchio and could not get him.
Oh, well, what was he doing in '88?
Probably
is that
the
Karate Kid?
Probably. Aren't there like 5 of those?
He wasn't in all of them. So Sal shows up, and Sal, who knows where he came from? Because, like, also his name is Sal Romero, clearly a nod to...
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is.
You see his grave later,
I thought
Sal
the grave
Romero.
just said Romero. I didn't realize it was Sal's grave.
And he comes in there, everyone is like, this is like, takes place in, like, Haddonfield, Illinois. And he's like, hey, what's going on, everybody? Oh, Fazul, hey, kid. So he shakes down the brother for the information.
Right? And then that was supposed to lead then to the brother crashing the party, but Sal crashes the party instead.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
One thing I will say that I really love about this movie is while it does include the typical 80s teen horror drama, because it does follow all the rules. Like, if you have sex, you die. Like, that's the way it goes. Don't say, I'll be right back. Don't go up the stairs.
It does.
You know, all of these things. It follows all of the movie rules set down by its predecessors. Halloween. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Friday the 13th came out beforehand, so it does follow that the rules, but it plays down the teen drama in the sense of like, yes, there's tits, yes, there's ass, yes, there's lots of boobs, there's lots of, but it wasn't made to be a really, really terrible like. It is a B film. It's a B film, but it's not center focused on like in Evil Toons, like the Toons strip the girls naked before eating their necks. It's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. And
I got a lot to say about Evil Toons.
While Linnea Quigley is definitely going to put her chest on display, I mean, first of all, it's Linnea Quigley, and Linnea Quigley has quite possibly the best boobs to ever come out of the 80s.
I would argue with that a little bit. My vote is not Phoebe Cates, but
No, that's a great shot. Of
Jamie
her.
Lee Curtis.
You were saying that before, but I don't know.
I did. Everyone, go watch Trading Places.
Oh, there it is. There's the butt.
And they...
She also has that ass that is begging for a handprint.
Okay.
What is on that guy's fucking shirt?
I don't know. I'm still trying to work the damn subtitles.
Is that Mother Teresa?
Hold on. What the frick?
I'm not sure. You're just trying to get subtitles. But anyway, the house itself, so yeah, it was, and it was not dressed. But fun fact, they tore it down and built a grocery store on top of it.
Oh yeah, it's a Ralph's.
Ralph's grocery store, which we had in California
It's
growing
a
up.
Ralph's. On. There we go.
Such a good time.
And so we got Linnea Quigley doing her thing in
in
the
the convenience store.
while Angela is shoplifting
Oh.
in her big old
So
pillowcase.
check out her earrings here, how
That's
the crosses.
right. They flip.
They flip after she becomes possessed.
They do. So I want to know, like, what are you stealing, Angela? Because she takes some snacks.
I see booze going in the bag. I saw that.
First of all, it should be all booze. And then she grabs a bunch of napkins.
I think those are cupcakes.
And I think this movie was like
Are those
sponsored by
cookies?
Napkins of something, because the old guy in the beginning.
Those are those weird cookies nobody fucking eats. Those like knockoff Oreos.
It's
There's the napkins. She only grabs one thing at napkins.
But
That's
still,
reasonable.
that takes place precious space. This is a.
She's conscious of making sure that the old decrepit house is
I
cleaned
will
up.
listen. We'll see that later. Angela's a great host. For
She
this
is.
party,
Like,
honestly,
You would not want to miss this spread, for real.
So, this is like the convenience store from Repo Man. Like, everything is generic. Oh, I say that and there's Glad bags.
Ha.
First of all, the Linnea Quigley trick, maybe not even necessary. Also, they come in here and they say, Sal has been hanging out in the coffin all
with the
night.
beer.
Like, what if he had the wrong address?
Aren't those things like airtight?
Yes, I don't know. Do they have to be? Well, I guess
I know
they do.
that they put a different. When you have an open casket funeral, and they close like that bottom half, it's not sealed. You could still.
There
open
is
it.
a seal.
There's
I think
a
you
lock,
have to
but
seal it.
They don't seal it until burial.
Yes, they have to seal it.
But aren't they still airtight, like when they're closed?
Look, there's also
I need to go
demons
back and,
and hands on fire in this movie.
I need to go back and watch My Girl.
I want to say too, the dialogue in this movie. If I didn't know it was from 1988, I would think it was written by AI.
Yes.
Because they walk in the house and they're like, maid's day off, or the maid got burned alive, and they're like, barbecue maid. No wonder it's dirty in here. And like this kind of shit. So
there's Helen again. Like what is
Helen
Helen?
is
Everybody
struggling.
has a purpose,
Helen,
right? Like Sal is comic relief, and Judy's the virgin,
and sure,
Jay is the dick, and
Roger's the black guy.
Roger's not only the black guy, he's like the one that you identify with, the one that like the only one that understands what's happening to everybody. Stooge is the dumb jock.
Yeah.
Suzanne's the slut.
And
Angela's the goth girl. What is Helen?
Helen is.
She's not the
Helen
sporty
is
girl.
the other one.
She's
Helen
not-
is the
she's just
saddest
there.
case. I'm really gonna.
That
Again, look at Angela's hosting skills.
Oh, it's fantastic.
She's so good.
Like, it's absolutely wonderful.
And the hair, Tia Carrere's hair.
It is everything that was wonderful about the 80s. There are 5 cans of Aquanet in there.
I mean, there's a reason she's not over by the fire. And Linnea Quigley, again, sticking her ass in...
It's somebody's face.
Is that Stooge?
No,
I think that's
Tia
just...
Carrere's boyfriend.
Oh, the doctor.
Yeah, Scrubs. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can get no love.
Angela, I mean, Suzanne is fine with Scrubs.
I like Suzanne. I love Suzanne. Like, every girl knew a girl like Suzanne. And sometimes a high school slut was so well liked that she was practically a mascot. Not even the other girls had a problem with her. Like,
by the way, flashing light warning for anyone who watches this movie.
Totally.
They didn't have such a thing then, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a strobe light featured here. I don't have the remote, so I
but
couldn't
you
tell
know,
you
we
what
do
point.
also have in this movie the sort of female archetypes, the virgin and the whore, you know, that you get in sort of a lot of myths and stories, you know.
I could go into so much detail, but it goes back to that whole triple goddess effect where you have the mother maiden crone, or the maiden mother crone.
Oh, yeah, you have that too. You've got the mother of who? Helen?
No. That's you've got the maiden. That's definitely Judy, the young, the innocent, the virginal, and then you've got Tia Carrere, who is the one that's like, is everybody okay? Does anybody need anything? What's going on? Can I help somebody? Well, had she not died the way she did, she would be the one trying to help people carry their body parts to safety. And then you've got Angela, where you have the crone, the demon. And I don't say crone necessarily old lady, but with all of this knowledge and wisdom accumulated courtesy of the demon. But also, goth people of the 80s had a different life. These were not young, innocent, rich kids.
No, and there wasn't like, you know, I guess what would you know, I guess there were like, you know, you got TikTok goths and stuff. And then, you know, goth is cool. Goth is evolved. Hasn't it always been with us?
It has. It's
Hot
evolved.
Topic's been in business since I was a teenager. And I think their business is still doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's not goth anymore, though. Talked about Angela on the phone with Jay in the beginning when he's convincing her to go to this party, and how she's like, she probably lives in a belfry. Like,
sure.
And this is all based on the fact that Angela, the new girl who just moved to town, is weird.
She's the new girl?
Yeah.
Is this the thing? Well, she's already got, what is there, like 7 or 8 friends? That's
well,
pretty
Sal
good.
doesn't count. He crashed. He came along because of Judy and Jay. Jay got invited because of his other 2 friends, so I don't know how she knows anybody. And then she would have probably invited Stooge because why not? Oh, there's Roger. Roger, you're white as a ghost. Roger is a black man, my friends.
Maybe they
who
wrote
was
the
screening
dialogue
this movie? Who
before-
screens this?
They
Who
wrote
screens
it.
this?
They wrote the script before they cast it. Maybe.
Who? Yeah, but who screened this and was like, it's fine, leave it in?
You know, I thought Stooge like stayed in character through the whole party, but I think he's just a pig.
Well, he just took his nose off. I guess they needed somebody to see the demon.
They didn't see the demon.
Helen did.
Stooge just fucked with him.
Helen did, though. Face to face, she saw the face.
Helen
Oh
just
my God.
looked in the mirror and
She
saw
her
own
face, which
the
was
victim
what the face.
that is her life. That
She saw her face crash on the car the way it does when Roger's in it later.
that's her own death.
Yes. But all she says is she saw a face.
I really do. So I want to say also that whatever budding cinematographer, I don't know who it is, but I want to see what else they did, because this movie is shot brilliantly. Like, the shots you've got when they're looking in the mirror, and then you pans over to Roger over by the fire, and then there's this other shot where they're each individual pieces of the broken mirror.
That is
it's
brilliant.
so good. This movie is shot so well, and the lighting is great. And especially like if we would have watched it on VHS, it'd be even better. Because of the light.
The only thing that truly throws it with a special is that guy.
Only not if you
see,
watch
Helen
it.
does see it.
It looks better in VHS.
She sees the demon and then she sees herself.
The problem with upscaling to HD is that you see the imperfections more clearly.
So another fun fact is that I also found out is that the whole film was produced for only $1.2 million.
Yes.
But its first weekend, it only opened in Detroit and New York, and it made $3.1 million.
So it was a hit.
And it also remained at the top after complete release. It was released in October, and it remained top 5 box office across the country until January.
Not bad. Not bad.
Scared the shit out of them.
Angela, did she invite any cute boys? Because there was Stooge, who
Stooge is not cute.
I constantly call him Curly.
Roger is adorable, but only... Oh, the cartoon. Remember I even said when we were watching it something about the cartoon. So the cartoon is a real cartoon.
Yeah, it's like a
1936.
royalty-free,
No, it's a
public domain
1936 cartoon called The Cobweb Hotel. And the entire premise is that there are people being held captive in a house by a spider.
Nice.
Foreshadowing.
Nice. It's a nice little Easter egg.
Like here,
also, it didn't cost them anything to put it in because it was one of those like
1936
public domain cartoons that like you'd buy your kid at like fucking Dollar General, and it had like, oh, there's some kind of Soviet era Swan Lake on it and shit.
And then
what do we know about this mother?
They modeled the Stranger Things mom after her. Like, that's Karen Wheeler.
No.
But less sexy.
No, it's not.
That's Karen Wheeler, but less sexy. Yeah, it is.
Speaking of Karen Wheeler, I think Angela...
Wait, what's up with the pumpkin there? Like, when they pan away to Jay and Judy, there's a pumpkin on the table in between them.
It's Halloween.
I know, but look at this jack-o'-lantern. Oh, come on, you've got to show
I don't
me.
know. I was looking at the...
There. What happened to that thing?
It looks like, you know how like before we carved pumpkins, the Irish would carve turnips, you know, and they're terrifying. It looks like one of those. Maybe, you know, they're celebrating Samhain and we're all celebrating Halloween.
I mean, I remember the 80s were definitely, like, look at the Halloween decorations in general.
Those
and
are
even
great.
with a low budget and picking up the equivalent of Dollar Tree shit, like, it still epitomizes.
Well, it fits.
Does that jack-o'-lantern have 3 eyes?
You know, they were doing their best.
So I wonder if that was like a team-building exercise. Everybody got pumpkins because it's a Halloween
Well,
movie
the
and they
thing
had to
is,
carve them together.
They're making a movie,
Oh,
and
there
it's
we go,
under
right.
hot lights. The pumpkins probably lasted a day, and then like, you know, Amelia had to carve one. She's like, "Fuck it, I gotta fucking carve 5 pumpkins on this set. I don't care."
Helen, I don't understand the purpose
Helen
of
is the real tragedy of this movie.
Why was Helen there? Like, if you were
She's
properly...
Stooge's girlfriend, and she's you know, Stooge is very abusive. He yells, "Keep driving, bitch," at her, and then jerks the wheel in a way. Also, this fucking car, like,
I'm not sure if it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen, or if I'm gonna go blind and need to scour my eyes.
I
after
don't
looking at
even.
it.
I guess that's Stooge's car.
It's gotta be Stooge's car.
And they pick
I
up-
never caught their names, Peter Pan and the surgeon. But he's really cute, and she's an adorable little elf.
So she is like Tia Carrere levels of hot.
Before Tia was Tia.
Not Tila Tequila.
I know.
Tia Wayne's World.
Nani. She does the voice of Nani in Lilo and Stitch.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for her.
That's why Nani's got so much junk in the trunk. Don't tell me you didn't watch Lilo and Stitch and think,
I know because I don't know her. I didn't see her ID, so I would not.
Maybe I looked at
Oh, you mean the older sister?
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's cool. So Roger, or
Roger
should
is
we
the
say
most
Jolly Roger?
Roger is the most fucking real character.
Roger.
gets
I
shit
love
on.
Angela, but Roger is the standout performance of this. So, I think he's a pirate, but also he may be going for like a corsair. If
Nobody
you will.
put that much thought into that.
I don't know. If you're a Tolkien fan, I would say he's like a Black Numenoran. Or if you play
Nobody
Skyrim.
remembers he's black though. Like Sal literally looks at him and goes, "Roger, you're white as a
Wait,
ghost."
we haven't got to that part yet. He's like a Redguard from Tamriel. And this part, great. They got a flat tire, and this is just what you would do to your friends in the 80s.
Oh, in the middle
and the
of nowhere.
90s.
They're in the middle of nowhere.
They
flat
have no
tire,
cell phone.
No
they
cell phone.
have no way to contact, and they're
Nothing.
like, "Hey, fuck you!"
And
See
drive
ya.
away. Like, your kid's bully would have brought your kid home.
But no, they're
But
like,
back then,
you
you
need a
didn't
hand,
even
hey,
bring your friends
fuck
home.
you. And then they show up to the party anyway and don't say anything about it. They're just like, hey, fuck you for that, by the way. They're just like, eh.
And they missed an opportunity then later when hacking his hand off. When Stooge is doing that, they
I want
missed
that
this
to
whole
have been a
opportunity.
callback to be like, yeah, I could use a hand, now I got one.
Yeah. Thanks for the
But
hand, man.
But only Angela was allowed to speak, I guess. She's the only one of the demons that had the ability to talk. She was the mouth for all of them.
No, they all talked, but it was one demon.
Oh, speaking of Winona Ryder, I want to say I think Angela.
Who the fuck was speaking of Winona Ryder?
You said the mom was the inspiration for the Stranger Things mom.
Oh yeah, Karen Wheeler. But less hot, way less hot. So much less hot.
I think Angela goes up on the Mount Rushmore of goth fantasy girlfriends, along with Winona Ryder, Christina Ricci, and Fairuza Balk, of course.
She should be up there. She should be, but unfortunately, I don't know that enough people truly know about these movies. And I couldn't name another thing Angela Kinkade did.
Demons 2, Demons 3.
That wasn't a Demons film.
There are others.
I know there are.
She's go on IMDb. I'm not going to do it now because
she does have quite the discography, from what I remember. I just
filmography. I don't know if she had any.
Yeah, filmography. But she was also a professional dancer, so she would have had a lot of credits, not necessarily in film and TV, but as.
Oh, also she was a dancer before this, but apparently the director was urged to hire her because the casting director was scared the shit out of her.
Terrified of her. Hired her on the spot.
Yeah.
And she says to this day that is like one of her most proud moments.
I don't blame her.
Okay, it would be mine too.
You know,
running water. They can't. The demons can't cross running water. Remember that, folks. It's important later.
Angela owned this movie, and she said herself she wanted to be the demon because it's more fun. Why would you have sex and get killed when you can be the killer?
Why would you be the
so, like, personally, like, I love when a movie. This is a great movie, but it is a B movie. But even if it's a terrible movie, if there is an actor in there who is, you can tell, is having the time of their life.
Oh, yeah.
Like Frank Langella in Masters of the Universe. Terrible movie.
Oh, this whole movie works because the cast worked so well together. They obviously had a blast.
Last night, my friend and I watched Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. Terrible movie. But every actor was eating it up. They were having a fucking blast.
That is what I love the boys from Brazil. Gregory Peck and the other old guy, who I am a terrible person for not remembering his name. It's Gregory Peck and
Sir something.
Yes. Old, just like Gregory Peck old.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, but anyway, the end of this movie requires these two to fight on the floor. And, like, these two 80-year-old men are rolling around.
Oh, yes!
And they are theater actors, so it's even more just,
Shakespearean.
Yes.
And they're old man fighting.
And you can tell they are just having a fucking blast. Like, I need to know how many takes that took.
And kind of like when that scene that they put in that Scorsese had fucking ancient De Niro beat the guy up, and he's just like barely moving. It's so sad.
We definitely need to get back to our movie now. Oh yeah, and the original script for Night of the Demons called for an interracial couple and a gay couple.
Yes.
And they pulled out of that whole thing because it was too radical for 1988.
Too radical, but let's keep the scene of sticking a lipstick up your in your breast. So I want to say also, they come in here and they say Sal has been hanging out in the coffin all night. Like, what if he had the wrong address?
Aren't those things like airtight?
Yes, I don't know. Do they have to be? Well, I guess
I know
they do.
that they put a different. When you have an open casket funeral and they close like that bottom half, it's not sealed. You could still.
There
open
is
it.
a seal.
There's
I think you
lock,
have to
but
seal it.
They don't seal it until burial.
Yes, they have to seal it.
But aren't they still airtight, like when they're closed?
Look, there's also
I need to go back
demons
I
and
need to go
hands
back
on
and
fire
watch,
in this movie.
I need to go back and watch My Girl.
I want to say too the dialogue in this movie. If I didn't know it was from 1988, I would think it was written by AI.
Yes.
Because they walk in the house and they're like, maid's day off, or the maid got burned alive, and they're like, barbecue maid. No wonder it's dirty in here. And like this kind of shit. So
there's Helen again. Like, what is
Helen
Helen?
is
Everybody
struggling.
has a purpose,
Helen,
right? Like, Sal is comic relief, and Judy's the virgin.
And sure.
Jay is the dick. And
Roger's the black guy.
Roger's not only the black guy, he's like the one that you identify with, the one that like the only one that understands what's happening to everybody. Stooge is the dumb jock.
Yeah.
Suzanne's the slut.
And
Angela's the goth girl. What is Helen?
Helen is.
She's not the
Helen
sporty
is
girl.
the other one. Helen is the saddest.
It's just a mirror. What harm can it do?
It's really very simple. You just keep staring at my reflection in the mirror until the glass clouds up all black. When it clears, we'll see what I look like in a past life.
Sounds easy enough to me.
Yeah, right. And if you buy that, I got this real nifty bridge to sell you.
Everybody shut up. Now concentrate on my reflection in the mirror. Concentrate.
I'm trying to, Ange, but I can't get past that zit on your chin.
Shut the fuck up, asshole. If you're not gonna help us along, then get lost. Okay, now concentrate. Concentrate.
Holy shit!
You idiot! It was just starting to work.
I swear I saw the mirror turning black.
Yeah, I saw too.
I saw it.
Jeez.
Why the hell did you do that?
What is wrong with her?
Festering fuckwads! Ugh. You cannot take this bitch anywhere, man.
What happened, Helen? What's the matter? So what in the mirror?
Oh, jeez, this bitch is flipped.
Shut up, Stooge. You're not helping matters. What?
Probably saw Sal in that stupid mask.
I wasn't wearing my mask.
Oh, God, that's even worse. Oh.
It doesn't matter what she saw, does it? If she saw anything. It looks like our little game is over.
Yeah, I just hope Helen didn't piss off the owner of the mirror. Ow, I was only kidding. Oh, no. Here we go again. Relax. It's probably just someone arriving late.
Look at the way
Persona.
that Judy talked about Angela on the phone with Jay in the beginning when he's convincing her to go to this party, and how she's like, she probably lives in a belfry. Like
Sure.
And this is all based on the fact that Angela, the new girl who just moved to town, is weird.
She's the new girl?
Yeah.
Is this the thing? Well, she's already got, what is there, like 7 or 8 friends? That's
Well,
pretty
Sal
good.
doesn't count. He crashed. He came along because of Judy and Jay. Jay got invited because of his other 2 friends, so I don't know how she knows anybody. And then she would have probably invited Stooge because why not? Oh, there's Roger. Roger, you're white as a ghost. Roger is a black man, my friends.
Maybe they
who
wrote
is screening
the dialogue
this movie? Who
before-
screens this?
They
Who
wrote
screens
it.
this?
They wrote the script before they cast it. Maybe.
Who? Yeah, but who screened this and was like, it's fine, leave it in?
You know, I thought Stooge like stayed in character through the whole party, but I think he's just a pig.
Well, he just took his nose off. I guess they needed somebody to see the demon.
They didn't see the demons.
Helen did.
Stooge just fucked with them.
Helen did though. Face to face, she saw the face.
Helen
Oh my
just
God.
looked in the mirror and
She
saw
saw her
own
face, which
the
was
victim
what the face.
that is her life. That
She saw her face crash on the car the way it does when Roger's in it later.
that's her own death.
Yes. But all she says is she saw a face.
I really do. So I want to say also that whatever budding cinematographer I don't know who it is, but I want to see what else they did, because this movie is shot brilliantly. Like, the shots you've got when they're looking in the mirror, and then you pans over to Roger over by the fire, and then there's this other shot where they're each individual pieces of the broken mirror.
That is
it's
brilliant.
So good. This movie is shot so well, and the lighting is great. And especially, like, if we would have watched on VHS, it'd be even better. Because of the, like...
The only thing that truly throws it with especially is that guy.
Only... not if you
see
watch
how
it.
it does see it.
It looks better in VHS.
She sees the demon and then she sees herself.
The problem with upscaling to HD is that you see the imperfections more clearly. And in low res, it blends to the movie a lot better. I feel like it's meant to be watched.
It reminds me of the end of Hellraiser with the big dragon lightning demon that comes out of fucking nowhere. And I always have to remind myself whether or not that whole part was a fever dream. Because it does not fit the rest of the movie.
You know, I made a note here at one point that the dialogue does feel like...
You already said it feels like AI.
Well, AI, yes, but there's some
there's that scene.
Some line. There's a scene with the... Look at that's so good.
And you even got Linnea Quigley back there, like, look at my hair.
Yeah, it's each of them occupying their own little piece of a mirror. That's amazing.
Oh, and next question. So, like, Angela is obviously the target, right? She is meant to become the demon and meant to for all these things to happen, right?
Yeah.
She's the host. Why is Suzanne infected first then?
Well, Suzanne, when she kisses Angela, she transfers
right
the
over
demon.
Angela to Suzanne, though. Why? If Angela was always the target.
Maybe Angela was a difficult vessel to occupy because of her knowledge of the paranormal,
You'd think that would make it easier.
of the evil, this whatever, and somehow Suzanne was an easier vessel to get into because of her. Well, she's always looking in the mirror, and it travels through the mirror, so it probably came through her little hand mirror she's always looking in.
It doesn't travel through the mirror. It's about to infect her now.
It was
Watch.
literally in the mirror.
I know, and then the mirror broke, and then it just came out of the steam engine thing that's in the crematorium.
We do have an Evil Dead-like shot here, which is really well done, really great.
If you watch, it's gonna go hit the circle of kids one by one.
Yes.
Before it lands on
Suzanne. This is all one shot. By the way, this is all one shot.
And they're all like,
good.
ew, it smells.
And they do this.
And they're like, ew, I'm cold. And they're all like,
they're
what
right.
is
The mirror,
on?
the stink. Hey, don't look at me.
And so it's like, no, I definitely don't want fucking Stooge.
They do
I
that?
don't want these dudes. Fuck them. Oh, what about you?
See, it's the mirror. It's the mirror. This is the point. Look, boom.
But it doesn't go through the mirror.
It went in her mouth.
Yeah.
She's always
because that's
got
how
her
she
mouth
passes
open.
it.
I don't know. It's just.
Was she the only one not talking? So it could go in? Because everybody else was like, what's that smell? What's that this? And what's this? And it's cold. And oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And she's just like, love,
You know,
love,
I guess, in short, I don't know. I think she was just an easy vessel to get into. Or maybe the demon was horny.
I mean, if you wanted the easiest vessel to get into, you'd have gone after Stooge.
Stooge is not charismatic enough to lure the other ones. Linnea, or Suzanne could lure the other ones.
She only needed to get Angela, though.
And so the demon had to... they had to seduce their way into the first few, and then the rest of them they just killed by violence.
Yeah, I never understood that evolution. Like, once your body count reaches a certain number, do you get new powers? Like, it's got to get stronger?
Do they reveal the rules in Demons 2 and 3?
Yeah.
You know? Like, there are rules to horror movies. I don't know what this demon's rules are. Roger...
I'm struggling to even remember the third one. The second one was the private school.
Honestly, I've never seen the third one.
The second one was the private school. It's not what the first one was, but it's if you get the opportunity to watch it, watch it. It takes place in a private school and has Amelia Kinkade comes back, but absolutely does not look like herself. Her hair is all different. She's like still gorgeous, still dressed in black, still goth queen, but she looks so different. And then it's also got what's her name in it? Mrs. Ben Stiller.
Oh.
Marsha Brady.
Okay.
I can't remember the actress's name. She played Marsha Brady in the Brady Bunch movie, and she's married to Ben Stiller.
Huh. Okay. I don't know.
They were in dodgeball together. Which
Okay.
I think is how they met. Blonde girl, like looks just like Martha Wright.
You can keep on describing her. I'm not gonna know her.
She was on a TV show, Hey Dude, back in the 80s.
Oh my God, was she the blonde? Was she
Yeah.
Melody?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Now that okay, I don't know.
Why
who
didn't I
she is,
lead with
but
that?
Hey Dude, I instantly can recall. All right, I can't remember at least one of my children's birthdays, but I'm like, of course, Melody, the nice girl.
Yeah, that. She was in it.
Yeah, definitely. What is Suzanne telling them? Oh, and remember his Avenger? Avenger logo on the
his
back of his jacket.
logo. Like I was waiting this whole movie. I'm like, where's Ryan Reynolds?
It's clearly an anarchy sign, but
Is it though?
They fucked it up.
Is
They
it
made
clearly-
the circle too big, or
it
they didn't
clearly-
know, or they didn't know.
Is it really clearly an anarchy sign though? Because
Although-
it looks to me like it's clearly an Avengers logo.
It
and it
is-
shows up again on the car.
It does. I mean, like, maybe the real anarchy symbol was copyrighted, which would be fucking ironic.
This is why I brought this tablet out here, so that we could do quick searches for things that came up to find that answer.
What are you going to look up? Who the anarchy symbol?
Yes, I am. I want to know if it's got a copyright on it.
Look up how to fix the subtitles on your fucking TV.
Okay, no, next time we'll just have to prepare better, because now we know.
Okay. If you're listening to this, it means you probably heard new ones and you wanted to
Or
go
you're
back
literally our
strap
first
the fuck
ever
in.
guest, and we thank you for that. And
Then
we
you're probably
promise,
my friend.
And we promise that it's only going to get better from here, because we are going to learn to handle our shit.
You gotta walk before you run. You forgot to mention that they have the boombox that everyone wanted.
Oh, yes, absolutely. If you were a teen or preteen, or just if you were alive in the 80s and you saw this movie, you instantaneously wanted your parents to buy you that boombox.
Which has great sound, by the way, apparently in this movie, because it fills the room.
So, no, you cannot copyright the anarchy symbol simply because this image of simple geometry is ineligible for copyright and therefore in the public domain because it consists entirely of information that is common property.
I'm not saying you wasted your time, but I think that's pretty obvious. Here, and then, see, the kiss.
There's the
and
kiss.
then they transfer the demonic intelligence.
But it's not a full transfer because she keeps hers. She stays a demon. It's not like she goes back to being normal after that.
Well, that's true, because they all become demons. It is... all right, the lore is lost.
She's just passing it.
She's passing the curse.
Yes.
Because remember, the house isn't haunted, it's possessed.
It's possessed. And now Angela
and she explains to them what a possessed house is.
Versus a haunted house.
So this was back in the time when your friends, I mean, not your parents, maybe them, your friends would ask you, like, what's the answer to this? And you tell them, and they couldn't Google it, so they just believed you until 20 years later someone was like, nah, you're full of shit.
And then it wasn't until the Blair Witch Project that we finally decided to start going, fact check, please. Oh, we should probably mention that a Hull House is actually not just a house, it's a funeral parlor with a full-on crematorium and everything.
Why wasn't that in the movie?
It is in the movie, but we didn't mention it at all. So at this point, listeners are just like, oh, that's in a house?
It's a big house.
It is a big house,
I mean,
but
also,
it's a
you have to
funeral
understand,
home.
like, with the like I said, the movie is very well shot. So it's when they shoot a movie well, and it's very resourceful because it almost all takes place in this house. Besides, like,
there's
the
a handful
scenes,
of outdoor scenes, like when they're in the car and at Judy's house, the old man, which
a
we never
few,
even mentioned the
but-
old man. So the old man in the beginning, man, like he needs to be mentioned because the movie ends with him.
Yes, but like all
arguably the best, most unrealistic cinematic scene ever filmed.
We'll get to that. He hates
Everyone.
youth because he's like, my dick doesn't work and my wife's a bitch. Fuck you, burn in hell, he says.
He's the anti-Red Foreman. Like, if Red Foreman was truly mean and nasty and cruel, it would be this guy.
Oh, he is. He's what's the opposite of Red Foreman? Green.
This guy.
Green Fiveman.
Yeah.
He is. Well, I don't know his name. He's Green Fiveman.
Green foreskin.
Ew. No wonder he's pissed.
Right.
I mean, at his age, he should have had that taken care of. He had a botched circumcision, and he's been mad ever since.
The crops.
Do you guys have sour balls?
Why, sure we do.
Too bad. I bet you don't get many blowjobs. stuff. Come on, we don't want to be late to our own party.
Come on, your face looks fine. I've never seen anybody spend more time in a mirror.
Relax. I just want to look good for the boys. You did remember to invite some cute boys to the party, I hope.
Of course I did. And we're gonna scare the shit out of them.
This movie is only an hour. Oh, it's damn near 2 minutes long. 90 minutes, I think.
Yeah, perfect length. Perfect length.
Oh, there we go. Roger.
Okay, so we've got, all right,
Roger and Helen back at the wall.
This is why you know Helen's the saddest character. Because the demons haven't even shown up, and she's ready to give up. There's just a wall, they can't find the hole, and she's like, fuck it, Roger, life's not worth living. I don't care anymore. She's like, I'm dating Stooge. I'm ready to die. I have nothing left.
She probably did have like this flash where this is probably this podunk town.
Oh, I just noticed she's like Aphrodite or something.
Yeah. So there's probably this podunk town, right? And she's probably realizing that this is some scary shit. This is terrifying, and my life is flashing in front of my eyes, and my future is too. And my future is to graduate from high school and marry Stooge and pop out his babies while he has an affair with every bartender in the damn county.
Suzanne and Tia Carrere got the two good-looking men in the town. Roger could be gay, so he may not be interested. And at this point, again, Helen is gone. Helen has given up. Helen has thrown herself on her sword. Like I said, there's no demons yet. She's with Roger. I think Roger can make you feel safe. And again, first time I saw this, I forgot about Helen. Like,
right.
She shows up dead, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Roger, also, I want to say, before he even shows it, Roger is so good. This actor that plays Roger is amazing. He has the most realistic response to these events.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go hide in the car with the Avengers car.
Most of the time in a horror movie, something happens and the mild-mannered guy instantly becomes a cold-blooded killer. Not Roger. Roger is traumatized.
Oh, they're making out on. It's not even a gurney, okay? It's not even a full-on gurney. It's just like a little metal autopsies, dum-dum.
Well, they don't use a gurney. They just use it. I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
But they would use gurneys to wheel them from place to place.
Yeah, it's one of those autopsy tables.
Yeah, and it's not even that. If you look it looks like a cot. It's like a very primitive, rolly cot.
And actually, so I worked in a large hospital, and
looks like something out of the wars. Like that you would use to transport men from battlefields.
Jerry died on this. I used to work in a very large hospital, and there was a morgue, and the morgue looked like this is more mild-mannered than the morgue in this hospital. Like, if you were designing a morgue for a horror movie and you showed this, they'd be like, pull it back in a little bit. This nobody's. So he fucks off and locks Suzanne in the autopsy room.
Judy.
I'm sorry, Judy. Yes. Yeah, she's locked in. So he gets blue-balled.
He didn't mean to though. He just closed the door and the door.
Oh, I thought like he got blue-balled and he's like, "Fuck you, Alice."
No, when they come and get her. Okay, I hope they're going to behave themselves. Behave yourselves. So, full disclosure background, I have 4 rabbits. We'll throw a picture up later, or you can use the link to my Instagram to find it, since we'll be linking our stuff. And you can see my babies. And my youngest bunny, there's the oldest, the youngest and the middle child, and the youngest likes to do things she shouldn't to antagonize her older siblings.
She's a bully. I mean,
she is. I don't know what's going on.
She's literally Hitler.
No, that's Nessa.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Betty's
about?
the problem.
Betty's... Oh, Black Betty.
Black Betty Bambalam.
Okay, Stooge has been waiting out... Stooge has been waiting outside the bathroom door like he's about to get some. And...
Boys, or ladies before germs.
She slipped out, but I think...
He just now found out there's a back door.
He's such a fucking idiot.
And then goes back in it. Then goes back in it.
Stooge had to die.
Oh, okay. Here it comes.
All right, so anyone who knows this movie knows that one of the finest scenes in all of horror history is Angela dancing to Bauhaus's Stigmata Martyr.
You know what? I might actually
Are we gonna actually?
Oh,
This will sound great.
we don't have volume yet. Hold on.
What is this? It has to be loved in real time. She's changing, her earrings go upside down.
Her whole dress changes for a hot minute. 4 hot minutes, to be precise.
Oh no, maybe that's the poofy,
That's her veil.
Oh, that's her veil.
And it's back on at the end of the dance scene when it's all normal
So,
again.
I
Her
mean,
full
the fact
taffeta
that
skirt
she's,
is
like,
back.
Angela is a true goth. Number one, she's dancing to Bauhaus. And not the Bauhaus song you would expect. Like, you'd think, oh, Bela Lugosi's dead. Nay. There are other fantastic songs. They have
And
a lot of
Sal
good songs.
is like, is this hot or not?
Sal has the weirdest boner right now. And he's like, I'm concerned. I think she's like going through something, but I think she's also horny.
And then the thunks on the... There we go.
Now we're talking. Such a great song. Fucking A.
We will 100% link this actual scene so that you can just click over and watch this amazingness with us.
Sal, very confused. Fantastic. But she's got, I don't know much about dancing as an art form, but I feel like she's doing this sort of a combination of like a tribal dance mixed in with this sort of like convulsive moves. Like,
there's a degree of thrash to it.
Well, it's almost like...
But there's a halfway modern ballet in there too, though.
Well, it's sort of a way that she doesn't have total... Like, look how she lifts up. Like, she doesn't have full control. Like, something is manipulating her limbs.
Right, I think that's deliberate on her part to make it look
yeah,
like...
that's what I mean, because, like, she's a great dancer. So, and then the strobe lights come in, and we get the...
Back to the light warning again. And see, she's got an extra layer to her skirt there, but it disappears again. When she throws it over her head, it's gone. But now it's back.
I mean...
But then it disappears, and then it's back.
It's fine. It's fine.
See?
It's fine. It's okay. I forgive him.
I'm just saying, it is further evidence that there is a full version of this dance somewhere. And I want it.
It's so beautifully shot. You got a Dutch angle on this dance. The
And Sal is
and
just...
the edits that make it just so kinetic.
How is he not just appreciating it? I guess because he hasn't been around.
Because he's freaked the fuck out. I
would have paused to appreciate the amazingness. I mean, like, any demon that can dance like that can't be all bad.
And then, okay, so I want to also add the fact that, so for 4 minutes, we are treated to this exquisite, artful, graceful art.
And then we get fucking Stooge.
And Stooge walks
Ruins
in,
it.
and it's like someone has treaded on holy ground.
Yep.
It is like someone...
And here he comes, getting ready to come try and dance with her. There's the full-on skirts all back.
But I think, I mean, like, I want to...
The vibe is gone. You can feel it from here.
Yeah, but I want to think that it's intentional. It's sort of like he is the profane walking into this scene when she is the demon, but his gross humanity
Look at her. She's like...
Out-profanes her demonic... She's literally demonically possessed, and he's just a fucking pig.
Yeah.
And somehow he outmatches her grotesqueness.
Because it's different. There's a difference between grotesque, which implies a layer of beauty, and he is just disgusting.
I would call it a bestial
nauseating.
Urgency. Yeah. He's operating on lust and greed. But I mean,
I'm trying to think of a comparable character in another film.
I don't know, the Wet Bandits.
No, we're not bringing Home Alone into this.
Maybe John Belushi in Animal House.
Yeah.
And what'd she bite off? His nose?
Nose.
See, he should have been wearing the pig nose.
Yeah, he should have thrown that bitch away.
Look at this. I mean, Right, and there's the her earrings are now upside down. Beautiful.
And that's the first. They were before when she was dancing, but this is the first close up you get of them.
I love it. Again,
Sal is just off to find somebody fucking normal. And who does he run into but Suzanne?
Suzanne, and again,
and here comes
pauses to get horny.
But he's not, because he's just like trying to figure out if he's like, oh, you're fucked up too. Okay,
he's like, hey, what am I in a fucking nut house or something? Hey, hey, this is worse than pasta fazool in my face.
I'm out. Like, I don't know what happened to everybody, but great color.
Can't seem to get it right. And Linnea doing what Linnea does best. There's a reason she's an icon.
Like, I follow her on Instagram.
I do too.
We will include her Instagram for sure then.
So I follow as many scream queens as I can. Linnea Quigley and also what's her butt? Linnea Quigley, still gorgeous.
She absolutely is.
Absolutely.
She does her hair differently now, and that's about it.
Sure.
That's
really
it.
Changed very much. Oh, Crampton's. Susan Crampton, also. And Elaine Dietz, who played the Pazuzu.
Boobs.
We're getting boobs. Now, okay, hold on. Yeah, I'll pause for boobs.
Woo!
There's
the real ones. If you look, you can see that only the one she pushes the lipstick to is prosthetic. The other one is hers.
Yeah, and also I think I feel that they should have just made them both fake because it stands out as clearly fake this way.
It does.
And I want to say it took us 53 minutes to get to boobs because I think the director was clearly an ass man because we've got
so much ass.
5 butts. We've got Judy changing, and it starts. We've got Linnea Quigley bent over twice. We've got a scene where they're mooning someone, and then we've got Angela's butt as she's dancing.
Yep. And in all of that, all we had boobs-wise beforehand was just Judy's bra boobs. But now we've got, and now they're not even her boobs. Well, that one is her boob. So,
what are you looking at?
What?
Is my makeup okay?
Are you crazy? What are you talking about?
Stop staring at me.
Damn it, Suzanne, your makeup is fine. Come on, what are you worried about? Ah! Jeez! Christ!
Stop looking at me!
Ah! Damn it!
It's a great scene. I love it, but why is the lipstick going into her breast?
So the way I took this scene is that the demon itself. I don't know.
Because no one's here to see this.
I take this demon to be octopus-like. And Angela is the head of the octopus, and she's slowly making her tentacles. So they don't have full capacity of the brain like Angela does.
Whoop.
And
that would be convenient, though.
She
if you
would
could keep, your
pop that in there a minute.
Passport, your ID, your keys.
Just pop open the nipple and there you go. But Linnea Quigley and later Stooge, all of them maintain an element of their own natural character while being a demon.
Yes.
Whereas Angela becomes full-blown demon. So I very much take it to be an octopus-like thing. And Angela is the head of the octopus and everyone else become her tentacles. And because they retain a bit of their own individual character, her being possessed and weird, but also loving sensualness and whatnot, that lipstick coming down, being sensual, and then showing the otherworldly of putting it in, because that is something Suzanne would have done.
You know, also, so
it would not have made sense if Peter Pan, Tia Carrera had done that scene.
You know what, also, don't you think that maybe, because you see the lipstick all over her face, the demon might not know what makeup is and how to use it. She just knows, the demon just knows that, well, this chick is addicted to this shit. Oh, real quick, too, Angela's...
I always look for the pot, because there's a pot.
Well, she had 6 seconds for her hands to burn before it would eat her flesh. And the director's like, stick them in this bucket of water before your hands burn up.
Right, but I always look when she walks away. I always look for the bucket. And they pull it so fast, I've never seen it.
No, they edited it out. They cut the scene and then filmed her from far away.
No, in the scene where she's got her hands up and they pan back, you can see the fireplace behind her, and there's her hands are on fire, but the fireplace behind her.
I don't know. Movie magic.
They pulled the bucket pretty well. Oh, here, back to Roger. I forgot about Roger for a minute.
Roger's been camping out in a car.
He arguably should have just fucking stayed there even after Helen fell in the car. He should have just gotten a different car. Because he doesn't have any more bodies to throw at him. Like, that's it.
He just camps out for the rest of the night in the car.
Yeah. They tell you specifically, I mean, it's not until a little bit later in the movie, but because Judy figures it out. She's like, they can only be here for one night. We just got to figure it out to sunrise. Blah, 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 blah.
It's always till sunrise.
If Roger could have just been like, fuck this, I can't be in a car with a dead body on it, hopped into that other car over there, and been like, I'm going to nap it out.
We don't see Helen die. I suspect she killed herself. I don't think she didn't even know there were
like
demons.
This whole time from disappearing
she was
to now?
climbing to the roof to end it all.
It took that long?
Well, she's a slow climber.
I wonder how much those panties sold for.
I paid $597 at auction.
You lie. They would have gone for way more than that.
Of course.
Socks too.
Oh, the socks. Didn't every girl have those socks in the late 80s?
Yeah. Hers are the like see-through lace though.
So very interesting. We
Very
get the crotch shot.
Very trimmed bush.
And
she's the only crotch shot we get.
We get one and only crotch shot. When Linnea Quigley played Trash in Return of the Living Dead, she was in that scene where she's dancing naked. And
she wore American.
She wore a merkin that was bald. So she had a bush, and they're like, well, we can't show the bush. It's indecent. So they put this bald merkin over her that was even worse.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that's all her.
I wonder if she wore it in this one too. Well, no, I think this was before.
This was all her, so I'm pretty sure. I don't think they gave her anything to cover up in this particular case because she looked way too trimmed up.
I think she should have drawn her bush on with her lipstick. It would have made more sense. Because the demon would have been like, boys like the makeup on the face. They'll like it down here.
Did you?
And then then she would have had to put the lipstick.
Did you ever notice, though, that her top continuously, like she ripped it open and gave us boobs, but it continually goes to being buttoned up and unbuttoned and buttoned up and unbuttoned?
Hold on, we've got Tia Carrere's.
Hers are so obviously fake.
I don't think so. I don't think they're fake. She's,
You could survive the Titanic's sinking holding on to them things.
I don't think so. I disagree. But again, I could be wrong. But
I liked her interview too, where somebody asked if she had been uncomfortable about showing her boobs, and she was like, "Why would I be? They're great."
Well, did you read also the trivia about who the most unlikely guest on the set of this movie was? Angela, Mimi, what's her last name?
Kinkade.
Her aunt is none other than Rue McClanahan.
Yes.
Blanche Devereaux.
Yes.
She's on the set of this movie being like, oh my, y'all are turning into demons, aren't you? Isn't that nice? What's your name? Raja?
Well, aren't you handsome?
Aren't you handsome? Mm-hmm. Like she's in character all the time. She's just always Blanche. Roger, appropriately freaking the fuck out.
Right, like Sal.
He's like, whoa, hold on. I want to say too, this movie has the best defenestration scenes that you'll ever see in movies. It's gonna be a while before Roger's scene, but I definitely want to talk about it when we get there.
Like
Sal gets punched and fucking sails through the air out the window. It's like they got a great deal on Sugar Glass, and they're like, we're gonna use it.
Totally,
at
for everything.
Least twice.
For everything. And
there had to be about 4 window jumping scenes that were cut from this movie because they're like, oh, don't be fucking stupid, all right? Not everyone has to go through a window. Why the fuck not? It's like when, if you've seen the first Evil Dead, Ash gets thrown into a bookcase like 4 times in that movie.
Yep.
Like, I got all
See, for
these
some
whole
reason,
bookcases.
Stooge can't figure out how to open the door. But when Tinkerbell and Dr. Johnny Surgeon...
Probably because it's a push and he's pulling.
She doesn't know it's Stooge, so like this door is like keeping her ass safe. Again, Judy, just go to sleep until sunrise.
Oh, the Stooge is a demon now? That's right. Oh yeah, he got his nose bit off.
Right.
And he's a demon.
Because apparently it transfers like zombie-like now.
Yes. So it's a virus. sort of.
So, yeah, I mean, nobody ever talks about it, but I guess even if the zombie didn't bite you, you would get it if you had sex with it.
Okay,
Your whole
listen,
face.
you can't tell me.
I wish you could have
that
seen this man's face as it dawned on him.
Wait a minute. Now, you can't tell me that in a world where the first zombie movie as we know it was made in, what, 1965? Night of the Living Dead?
I think.
You can't tell me that the thousands of movies about zombies since then have been made, and there's not one...
Zombie porn?
Oh, but there's not... Look, I've seen that shit. I mean like an actual movie, not a documentary that you see on
Fido.
Pornhub. It's there.
Fido.
What's Fido?
Fido with...
Oh, I know Fido.
Yeah, with fucking Vincent D'Onofrio and
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Whatever, and the white chick from The Matrix.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
And she plays like this 1950s housewife, and they have a pet zombie named Fido, and she ends up banging him, and has a baby zombie.
What?
Like, you gotta see.
I guess we'll have to watch Fido.
See, you guys get so much fun with this podcast. Here's Night of the Demons, but you're also getting all these other movies.
Yeah.
Like, we can help you build your watch list in a single fucking night. One episode, we got you.
If you're taking notes, Fido.
Yeah, if you're a fan of zombie movies, Fido. And it's black and white.
I also want to talk about the other titles for this movie. The working title was Demon Boogie.
Which later was a song in the second film.
It was a song in the second film.
Its working title was Halloween Party.
Halloween Party. So, in Japan, it was known as House of Evil Spirits Cursed Halloween Party.
Okay.
And in Mexico, it was called A Devilish and Dark Night.
That sounds like an Alfred Hitchcock movie starring Jimmy Stewart and Vincent Price.
There he
There's
goes.
the window.
There he goes.
Sal through the window. And Judy is like, I'm out, motherfuckers.
And wait, is this when
Run, Judy, run. See, Judy, run.
I love that. Wait, is Sal still...
And that is not Linnea Quigley. That was a cutout still.
I don't know. It could have been Linnea Quigley.
No, it was not.
It's a 3 men and a baby situation?
No,
it wasn't
the
there
shadow.
as a ghost. I know.
The shadow.
I know. Yes, I know.
They just had a cutout.
But you remember 3 men and a baby?
Yes.
Had that, and
oh yeah.
It was like a ghost was in the thing, in the scene, and it turned out just be a cardboard cutout of Ted Danson for a scene that got cut out. And everyone saw that movie for that. Because you had to, like, if you wanted to see that scene, you had to go get the movie and pause it at whatever time.
All right, now Judy is in the coffin room. Oh, she's about to discover One Hand Man and Tinkerbell.
And Tia Carrere.
So there's a hand.
Yeah, it had to
There's
be a
the hand.
callback to their first meeting.
I still say somebody should have said, and the hand just comes alive on its own. But you know what?
You know what?
It was never seen again after that.
No, she just kicks it away.
Because when they're all there as zombies facing her at the end, he's holding his arm as they're all like lurching at her.
It is a little Evil Dead-ish too, because in the Evil Dead 2, when Ash loses his arm and he has that fantastic slapstick fight with it.
Yep.
And also, did you see when he puts the bucket and the books on top of it? The book is A Farewell to Arms.
Yes. And Judy's like, I can't open the door. I don't know how to open the door. This is another fucking door that won't open.
You know, for someone
dressed as Alice in Wonderland, like they really went with that. Like we are going to send Alice through fucking Wonderlands.
You know, do you think there's like callbacks to Alice in this movie?
Of course. I mean, spoiler, who survives?
Well, Alice and Roger.
The Black Rabbit?
Yeah, you know, famously in Alice in Wonderland, the Black Rabbit.
They couldn't make...
So
after going through everything in the most realistic way possible, they could not kill off Roger. I don't care if he's black, white, or Asian.
I don't think... Well, maybe not. Maybe, again, like the cartoon they were watching, Alice is a public domain figure. But then again, like, Sal's not dressed as anything except, like, one of the fucking outsiders.
No, I wouldn't say that necessarily it emulates that, but it's very much Alice going down a rabbit hole.
Okay. Yeah, okay, sure.
I mean, we even refer to things all the time, like, oh my God, I got stuck down a rabbit hole and was up until 3 a.m. Oh, what were you doing? Man, I started out with Hellraiser, and the next thing you know, I was on Serta sofas.
See, that's what Helen did. Helen did like Sal, only Sal wanted to live until he didn't.
How did she just disappear without a noise, though?
Who?
Helen. She was literally right behind Roger, and then he's like,
Again,
bitch, get your shit together.
Helen did not know they were demons. She didn't know they were all going to die. She just wanted to end it. Helen just couldn't. She's like, I don't want to live. Fuck this. And when the demons showed up, Helen's like, this may as well happen.
I don't know that Helen actually encountered a demon at all. Her death was
she didn't.
Very benign.
So, this is the most unnecessary jump scare. I think it's coming up here. Or maybe it isn't. No, it's not. I think we passed it.
That's the other one. That's the other one. We got Roger coming to save Judy in what looks like the old fucking slave quarters.
Stop.
I want to remind everyone, Roger is a black man.
It's just a window with bars on it.
Really?
I mean...
Really?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying, who screened this?
So he tells him he's white as a ghost, and then they put him put him behind bars.
Yeah, right. Who screened this? Ultimately, though, those are the only two very fixable, problematic things you could ever have to do with a remake to properly redo it, unlike the piece of trash they put out in 2010 with Shannon Elizabeth.
I didn't see it. I don't see a point. I don't see a point in seeing it. Why? Some remakes.
Let someone play it for you if you are ever in a coma, and maybe you will. Then you can say you watched it when you were in a coma.
I'm sure I've seen worse.
Yes. They're definitely worse.
So
I've seen some remakes of amazing films that were better than other original horror films.
The Thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't remember her wandering around aimlessly this long.
Yeah.
So,
she's got to meet up with Roger here in a minute and then jump off the thingy.
Do you think Roger and Judy formed a trauma bond after this?
That's not a trauma bond. It's not how a trauma bond works.
What are you talking about?
A trauma bond is formed between the abuser and the abusee. Look it up.
Okay. Well, do you think they formed a some kind of a bond after going through this trauma?
Well, I want to know how Judy went home and explained to her WASP parents that she was probably going to marry a black man. In 1988.
We never saw her father.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
She was a trailblazer.
And is this how the Loving family started?
She was probably like, Mom, your racism is the least of my fucking concerns at this point. All my friends are dead. I killed some of them. I burned 2 of them alive. I've almost died multiple times. I believe in demons now. So yeah, why don't you, Mom? I don't know. Go fuck yourself.
I don't know if you'd call her a scream queen, but definitely another one that fit her role. Icon queen. What was it you said earlier? Slay mother. Catherine Isabel. Ginger Snaps.
I don't know, unless she was in other things.
That's what she's most well known for.
Ginger Snaps good.
But she's been in it.
I forgot to mention, speaking of... so Elaine Dietz, who played the demon Pazuzu when you saw the face, she follows me on Instagram, and I don't know why.
She probably really likes your art.
I guess. She's got great taste. Thanks, Dietz. Thanks, Pazuzu. Come on. So Roger is going to catch...
Alice
Judy.
when she falls.
Oh my gosh, she does fall. Okay, might be a... there! Look, that's just falling into... She's falling into... Yes, you're right.
There's a reason they put her in that costume, like when it was all being discussed.
There are levels to the script.
Like, Angela's is relatively non-generic. You could go with, like, Bride of Satan or Bride of Dracula or whatever.
I think that was just her regular clothes.
But at the end of the day...
With a tiara.
I feel like Bride of Dracula was very common for goth girls in the 80s, and that's why they went with it.
Sal Romero. When was he born? 1970. Okay, so he'd only be like 54 now. He'd have a little couple of bambinos roaming around. Listen, I did such a great Sal impression.
Roger's like, holy fucking shit. Holy shit. What has happened here? What the fuck? What is going on?
And
by the way, where
Roger
are we?
Moment is coming up in here. So again, Roger, one of the most believable
when she's like,
characters.
I can't.
No, it's when
he's like, bitch, you fucking can.
No, it's when he's facing danger and he says, and I quote, "You're not gonna get me," and throws himself face first out of a fucking window. And here is Judy.
And comes out of it without a mark on his face, I might add.
Oh, no, he came out scot-clean. Again, here, Judy is consoling Roger, who does find the strength within himself later. But it is like, it's very much a, like...
he has just been bearing all this shit.
They really are carrying each other through this. You know, they sort of, it's like a pas de deux. They take turns being the stronger one and lift each other up. Right here, it's Judy has to comfort Roger and get him, and then later he's encouraging her.
And she's now going to figure out, we can use this gas.
Because they each display bravery.
Because the gas is still being paid for in this old abandoned crematorium, and we can use it to kill the demons. Or at least push them far enough back to get out of here.
It was methane. It was geothermal.
They
clearly
dug a pit in the ground for cremations?
Well, they were... Okay, so they would have the funeral, and then they'd bury the bodies under there, and they'd reuse the coffins, and all that methane gas from the bodies is fueling the...
So how the fuck did Judy connect all that gas? I guess it's just all in there. If you light a match, it just
don't know. Judy makes an impromptu flamethrower out of basically just a gas pipe.
The only thing I'm going to say is, thankfully, nobody was wearing...
Now, that's why Judy didn't have any sex. She's at home reading the fucking anarchist cookbook, learning how to make weapons of mass destruction.
She's like, these are old bones. Wait, I've never seen one in real life before. This must be a crematorium. We can use
They left
this.
your mother's skull. Oops.
She's like,
They could have hidden there. Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
And Roger's like, what the fuck, white girl?
There is a band called Whole House, named after the house in this movie. I didn't get to listen to them. I didn't have time.
No, I know. I heard about that too, and I didn't get a chance to pull anything up.
I hope they're good. You think that maybe they're like one of those bands like King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard? And
they're pounding on the door, guys. You got to make a decision here. What you gonna do? Because they're getting in.
When in doubt, make a flamethrower.
Like, what was the demon's plan? What was the demon's plan? Once they had everybody turn to demons, you only got a couple more hours till daylight. You got to go back to hell. So what were they going to do? Sit around and play fucking Uno?
That's true. What were they? Well, you know, a demon.
Bob for apples.
Remember when Reagan is possessed? They're like, "What are you doing? And how long are you going to stay in there?" And she's like, "Till she lies rotting and stinking in here." So their motive is just death, destruction. They wanted to destroy something pure, as in these young kids.
Right. I get all that, but as Judy then tells you, they're only here for one night.
Okay, first of all, I don't know where they got that from, because Angela said the house is possessed.
Right,
so although now the house is a Ralph, so I guess the Ralph's is possessed.
Probably. We'll have to road trip there someday. But
they're probably
but
like,
Angela
also,
when Angela's in the demon form, she also says something about for tonight anyway, or Suzanne.
Yeah, I don't know. Angela pulled this all out of her ass.
And then she tells Roger right now that it's only for one night. If we can get the fuck out of here, and that running water, they can't cross that running water.
How do you know this?
We knew the running water earlier because Dr. Man found it under the wall.
Okay, but how do you put the pieces together to be like water, wall, demons can't cross water?
Because he said supposedly the spirits can't cross it, and they all laughed and went inside.
Well, that was convenient. That's true.
Because everybody talked about Hull House being haunted.
He knew about the murders. And whatever.
He probably
Everyone-
got invited
listen,
to the party and immediately went to his library's computer, which they had only one, researched it all, created a fucking binder.
This was 88. There was the only computers were for you to play Oregon Trail on.
That's fair.
Al
Apple
Gore,
IIes.
no, trash 80, TRS 80s. Al Gore had not invented the internet yet.
Al Gore.
So Al Gore was once asked, what are your opinions on the internet and its impact on the environment? And he said, you know, I invented the environment. I
invented airspace.
You know, after Al Gore conceded the election that he won, he got fat and grew a big old beard.
No
and I'm
politics
like,
on the podcast.
Okay, but that Al Gore would have won.
Judy's about to turn this shit into a fucking flamethrower.
Here he goes. Although, okay, in reality, she would have just killed herself with this.
She's holding like a fire hose that's about to shoot water, but
Whose
it's about to
lighter
shoot
was
flame.
that?
Rogers. No, she's had it in her pocket. Remember when she was
yes,
and Angela was like, "You shouldn't dirty up their space," and she put it in her little apron.
Tolstoy's lighter. And okay, we have also, you know, at least at the time, the pinnacle of stunts, the full body burn.
Right, and Roger's like, "Yeek!"
And,
Judy's like, "I need you to fucking help me, bro."
Judy's like, "If it bleeds, we can kill it."
He's like, "Oh, let me just turn down the gas.
Just turn the thing. Your time is coming, Roger." That's the supermarket.
That's the store. And I grew up shopping in Ralph's in California.
Nice.
Like Ralph's and Albertsons.
What is special about Ralph's?
It's just like a Schnucks. It's just a family
do
chain.
They do things good? Like Schnucks low key does like fried chicken and glazed
I haven't
donuts
been
better
there
than
since I was
anyone?
13, so I don't fucking know.
Okay, well, you'd remember.
At the time, they had a
something
fucking toy
like-
aisle akin to Toys R Us, and it was awesome, and I loved going.
I had so many grocery store toys because they were like, you know, bootlegs of
Uh-huh.
other toys.
Okay,
And,
now we're gonna try and get the fuck out here. Let's go.
So, okay, so this is the big. This is like the end, the
Yeah,
end scene in the
they
musical
gotta
when the
figure
cast
out-
gets together for one last number.
Yep, they have now got to figure out how to get out of this house and across that fucking wall. And Roger's
Sounds
like,
easy
that
enough.
wall does not have a fucking gate.
Oh,
We
and
already
Jay's
looked.
like, where we're going, we don't need eyes.
She's like, "Oh, Jay," and I'm like, "Why do you feel bad for him? He was like rapey."
Well, you know. And then Angela's like, how do you like your blind date?
And between the
Bitch.
two, she's still gonna choose Angela.
I mean, you know, it was her first love. Oh, no, Sal was her first love.
Right. The whole reason Jay wanted to date Judy is because he thought she had sex with Sal.
I guess.
And then Judy informs us they only went on one date.
So I don't think it means that she thinks Judy's a slut. I think it means Sal is such a stud.
Probably.
That of course he banged.
Well, yeah, because apparently Sal's the slut, and every girl that goes out with him, he talks about banging.
Right. And I mean, also, this is sort of like with Suzanne, it's like the mythos of the school slut, which was, there he goes, fuck this.
And Judy's like,
And Judy's like, fuck, okay.
She's like, hold on, what do I do? Do I go out the now
Sal's
open
like,
doorway?
damn. I mean, not Sal, fucking Roger.
He's like, I'm good, all right.
I wish that Judy
I think even he is surprised. He's like, how the fuck am I okay?
So I wish that Judy would have gone out the same way Roger did, but at the window next to it that was not broken.
All right, now they're going back to the wall. There's the wall. Like, you can fucking see the wall from here. And they're like, we already tried.
They're
There's
like,
no
no.
gate. We got to go over. And she's like, how? And he's like, you see this here barbed wire? We gonna climb it.
And she's like,
ouchie no. Ouchie no.
And
ouchie,
Roger,
ouchie,
his
no.
sense of self-preservation
And he's like,
is
fuck
so
you then,
strong.
bitch.
He's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, I will heal these hands when I'm alive. And
he's like at the top of that thing, like, bitch, are you coming?
To be fair,
Let's go. Come on.
To be fair, that's what I would do.
Are you coming? You're
It's
gonna
your
climb.
life.
Come on. Come on, white girl.
It is your life, Judy.
And she's like, ouch, ouch. And then they all come along and start petting her.
Okay, right. they just like they're so distracted by how just the softness of her taffeta skirt. They're like, oh, like they all turn into Lenny from Mice and Men all of a sudden. Like, I sure like soft things.
He grabs her, but then he's like just petting her legs.
Like, ooh, oh, George.
And why is his skin burning her?
He was on fire.
Oh, Helen's back. Helen's back.
Well, he was on fire a minute ago.
Here's Helen.
No.
Yep, Helen was back.
Helen's
back.
like, you know what? Helen's like, don't turn me back. I am so much happier a demon than I was.
And we
alive.
get to no longer exist after tonight. So like,
this is great.
I love one last purge.
Oh my God,
it's fantastic.
Angela, invite me to all your parties because I don't have to live.
Like, be my roomie in hell.
No, Roger.
I want to know how he quickly climbed the other side with no barbed wire on it.
I want to know why there's
to
a
get her out of
desert
there.
on the
And
other
now they're
side
all
of the
petting
wall.
her.
He landed in the desert.
Yep, now they're all petting her. Why are there more of them than there should be?
They're just all clumped together. Yeah, they're terrible at their job. All you had to do was grab a foot.
Like, seriously, because
And they
she
just-
is not pet. And the ones in the back are just holding their hands up, waving at her. Like, gone, girl. Gone, girl.
Go on and take those shoes with you. No,
And she's just like, I can't. And he's like, I got you. Let's go, bitch.
I know. He's like, damn it, white girl. Oh.
I get it. You know, like, white women will approach a fucking Wolverine and try and make it a pet. But running from serial killer zombies, not on our list.
When I was a kid, I took
now
lighters
they're
to
all
a
gonna-
lot of action figures, and they look just like Stooge.
Now the sun's coming
Yeah,
up. The
that's
sun's
it.
coming up. Here
Shoes
we
look
go. Here
like
we go.
half
Poof. Poof. Smoke.
Ah.
Poof. Oh,
They're aware of their.
I'm melting.
And they're aware of this. They
And the
should, like,
smoke is way more blue than it should be. Like, why is it so blue?
What do you mean it should be? What do you know what demon smoke looks like?
Well, that's a really pretty blue.
It's bisexual lighting.
Okay. That makes
No.
sense. And there's the demon again saying, I'll get you next year.
No, the demon should have just said, oh, shit.
And they're like,
every monster.
what the fuck? I'm never celebrating Halloween again.
They should retrofit every horror movie. Jaws, right before Jaws gets killed, he's like, oh, shit. And the Green Mile, before he gets...
No. And now the sun is coming up.
Great shot. Great shot.
It's a beautiful morning.
It was, and he had to wait for this sunrise.
And they're walking home like they have been
There's a
to the
Frankenfurter
rave.
mask on the
Like
ground.
they were just at a rave hosted by Rob Zombie, accompanied by Ozzy Osbourne. And everyone ate bats, and it was beautiful. And now they're walking home from this. And they don't really know what to think. They're just sort of in this, we survived days. But then we get the old man back.
They were at P. Diddy's house.
The old man that is seeing them come home from P. Diddy's house. And he's just like, damn stupid.
That's what sex does to you. God damn it.
But, again, arguably the worst scene in horror history. Worst death. Most unrealistic.
Worse than Troll 2?
Yes.
Worse than...
Because there's a close-up. There's close-ups. When you look at his... When you watch this,
Well,
and
there
you
was...
look at his throat...
There's not an extended dance scene, but there is an extended scene of this.
I know.
Exists. Because apparently...
They needed that.
They had to cut some of the violence to get the rating, which makes no sense. No sense at all.
So, like, here he is. He's eating his fucking pie. And these are, like, small bites, okay? Like, I'm like...
I hate when I accidentally swallow
Why
a
is she got a big
whole
cock on her
ass
kitchen wall?
razor blade.
And he's like,
homemade.
Where'd you get these apples?
A homemade this? Damn straight.
But he's just shoveling it in his mouth in these tiny little bites. And, like, how do you not know?
This man, first of all, he hasn't got his dick wet.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Since
She's got a
Eisenhower's
giant
president.
cock on her fucking wall.
What?
Oh, here we go.
Are you being funny about it? Like it's a rooster?
It is a rooster. Like, you can see...
Oh, wait a minute.
Look at this.
There it comes out. Whatever. It's great. It's very realistic and it's very believable.
And she's just like,
you know what?
you need to rest more, dear.
Happy Halloween.
And I mean, the cops are going to be like, clearly a suicide.
And then he's moving.
Shut up. Stop it. Whatever. Fantastic, great movie. I give it 5 stars.
I can watch that movie like literally every other. We just watched this movie like 2 nights ago.
Just now, this was like my 11th, 12th time seeing this movie, and it never gets old. It's one of those classics. I watch it. I mean, I don't just watch it around spooky season. I mean, I watch it anytime. I mean, all I watch is horror movies.
And documentaries.
Horror movies and documentaries.
About horrible people.
Yeah. If not, I'm spending my time watching the same silent film 15 times.
That is for a purpose where we can now put shameless plug to Smut. The silent movie underground theater.
Yeah. Quick explanation.
Quick explanation of what?
Of what it is.
Smut?
Yeah, so I had a hobby for a long time. There, if anybody remembers, ever since, you know what? Fuck it. We don't explain this. We'll just put it in the fucking blog.
Yeah, no, this will go with the thing. Smut basically is taking silent films that already exist. Classic Wonderful Things started with Alice in Wonderland 19-something, then did Nosferatu, then did The Passion of Joan of Arc, upcoming will be Faust, and all just classic silent films with a custom overlaid soundtrack that is not at all part of the original film, created and designed by our cozy over here, has yet to let us down. Everybody is always silent after these viewings, and then he gets all insecure, and it's so cute. But in reality, we're silent because we are just fucking blown away.
Then
by
I
this.
heard some sniffling, and I felt better. So, I mean,
it's the passion of Joan of Arc. Like, I don't care what soundtrack you put with it, unless it's like Happy Tree Friends, you're gonna fucking cry.
Fuck it up. You can fuck it up.
But back to we need to get back to
if anybody's old enough to remember Dark Side of the Rainbow, when you would play Dark Side of the Moon with Alice in Wonderland, and so back in the time, this was like 1997, 98. And I found the websites I used to go to that were called like Song Sync. They called it Synchronicity. But the idea was then you just play a whole album and a whole movie and just hope that something matched.
Right, that's kind of what we did with the original Alice. That's what got this whole thing started, was we were like, what would sound good with Alice? And we're like, Bowie. So up came Bowie. I never remember what album we played. That's right. And although I think we picked up a little Ziggy Stardust at the end.
Well, it wasn't long enough for the whole movie. No, it was The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Yes, it was. And so we ran with that. And it worked well, but that will end up on the upcoming film list because I think you want to give it
Maybe I'll make a whole new one for that. Might include some low from Bowie just for nostalgia's sake. Yes. But so it was fun to play the albums. Like I played Tom Waits' Alice with Disney's Alice. I played Echoes with 2001. But I never did it with like individual songs specifically for this part and that part. So that's been like a really fun hobby, and I've really enjoyed doing it because I've always loved silent films, and I think silent films, of all the art forms, like we'll listen to Beethoven forever. We'll look at Michelangelo.
Forever. Just dropped a new single, yo.
Well, but he's never gonna go away.
That was not on my bingo card.
It's dubstep.
Right, that was not on my bingo card. Like,
but film is the youngest of all these art forms, and we've forgotten just 100 years ago. Mostly because the things are like, we couldn't keep them, but.
We will talk about this forever and a day if I let you continue talking about Smut. We have done the shameless
let's just say that the music brings back I try to bring back the impact that these movies kind of deserve, because I love them, and I really love showing my friends, and a lot of them have never seen these movies before, so I think it's really exciting. I've been happy with it. I'm really excited for more.
It's fun.
Also, Battleship Potemkin.
Yes.
A movie called A Page of Madness with a Japanese film.
I am still pushing for Metropolis, my friends.
It's too long.
It is not. Put an intermission in.
It's 2.5 hours long.
People paid money to see Titanic.
Yeah.
It's longer.
It's so long.
Put an intermission in.
That's even longer.
10-minute intermission. Actually, as many people as we have had down here at the Downtown Delphi, we would need probably a good 20-minute intermission so everyone can pee, because even with 2 bathrooms, that many people, 20 minutes.
It's
long. You love me and you will do it for me. Make it my birthday present.
It's not you. It's that. Oh, whatever. We can talk about this off camera, off mic. but
some skilled
personally-
individual will find a way to cleverly edit all this, because that was actually some really good smut material. And for the editor, I would like to just note here, I want that smut material kept in its own soundbite.
Who are you talking to?
Whoever's going to edit.
Me?
Yes, because you won't remember.
Yeah.
And I won't be there to do anything with it. So keep that smut soundbite, please, because I want to use it.
So Night
But
of the
let's
Demons
get back to Night of the Demons.
was 90 minutes long. And in my opinion, no movie should ever be longer than 90 minutes. If you can't tell a story in 90 minutes, then, I don't know, make 2 movies or something.
Well, that's why you end up with a lot of, like, why Lord of the Rings was the way that it was. It's still too long, I agree. But point being, it's why it had to be told in 3. There's also copious amount of material to work with when you're working with that particular series. But otherwise, the other option for today, and I loved what they did, is that turn things into miniseries.
I am the biggest fan of the one and done.
The limited series.
1 season,
Yes, I like
8
limited series.
episodes, like Baby Reindeer.
It depends on the story you're telling. I could handle a 2-season if the story is that detailed. Example, if you were doing the Menendez brothers like they did, covering that with monsters, if he wanted to do that with the West Memphis 3, he would have to have 2 seasons, because there's the before and the after. And how big it got. I can handle that, but any more than 2 seasons to tell a story, like, because it shouldn't take me that long to read that story. But I did just also want to cover, there are 2 sequels. I couldn't tell you the plot of the 3rd one to save my life, not without
I don't remember the plot of the second one, except
IMDb.
it was, like you said, a boarding school.
The second one, there is a boarding school with Christine Taylor, that's her name, and Amelia Kinkade does come back to play Angela. At that point, Angela already just like lives in the house. She's become the permanent demon of the house. The others, I'm guessing, were sucked back in after the sun rose, but Angela remained as the demon that possessed the house, because she said the house was possessed.
Okay.
And I would assume that means permanently, like, and that's why the murders happened and whatnot, but that on Halloween, all the demons can be free, so she wanted to turn everybody into demons to have a party with her friends. So the second one comes...
This just became the party.
Right, so the second one, like, becomes, like, she already knows that she's the demon. And the second one actually is the one with her sister, is at the boarding school. And roommates with the hot redhead and Christine Taylor, and they convince her to sneak out with their boyfriends and some other people and go have a party at Hull House. And the whole point was, because she's Angela's sister, to take her to scare her, and she's very timid and scared, and her nickname is Mouse and whatever. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, I remember Mouse.
Yeah. So, but then Angela somehow gets carried back through.
Okay, so Angela recovers.
Yes.
What about
gets a glow
Moose
up.
and Sal and
gone.
all them?
Everybody's gone.
Okay, so Angela recovers.
And then after the party,
and decides, why not? Let's go back to the scene of the crime.
Well, she can't leave the house. She's the demon of the house.
So her sister is like, oh, I should go visit my demon sister.
No, they don't know. She doesn't know that's where they're going.
So where does she think her sister went?
She knows her sister disappeared in that house.
Okay.
I mean, obviously nobody believes in this demonic infestation or whatever, but they believe that there was a party and everybody killed everybody and whatnot, and Angela was gone. So there's speculation that Angela was the killer and disappeared and or died somewhere and her body hasn't been found in the house. I don't know. It's a fucking made-up 80s, 90s, in this case, B film.
Okay, sure.
Whatever. Anyway, they're going to party in Hull House.
Now you're not worried about the details.
Mouse doesn't know that's where they're going when they leave. She just thinks they're going to a party, just like...
And then she gets the whole house, and she's like, guys?
So Angela's now in a conundrum because she's a fucking demon, but that's her baby sister.
Oh, demon's gonna do what demons do.
But demon and Angela have had time to coexist now, so it's still part Angela, still part demon. So she's gonna leave her sister alone.
Yeah.
They
also,
end up going...
This movie's, it's not a horror, it's a melodrama.
It's a story about... It's like
story
Frozen.
About two sisters
who lost each other and then found each other again, but only for a brief moment in time.
It's like Sophie's Choice, but with a demon and her sister.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, everybody goes back. Like, Angela doesn't kill anybody. Because she somehow manifests in the lipstick, and the hot redhead takes it back with her and puts it on at the party, and when she does, the demon then comes out of the lipstick.
I feel like I don't need to see this movie.
And that's where Angela does her dance scene, because the school's also hosting a Halloween dance. And that dance scene is fucking epic, and I wonder if I can find it.
Angela's dance is like the moonwalk now. Everyone's like, do the dance. You gotta do
the
it. It's your
Angela
party
dance.
trick.
Yeah. Come on, what you got?
Oh, Angela's coming? Is she gonna do the dance?
Oh, you know she is. She has to, or we don't invite her.
Well, technically she wasn't invited. She snuck in through lipstick.
Listen, okay, I don't use TikTok, but could there be like a Angela dance challenge, and it's around this time of year?
Yeah, that would be fun as hell if anybody knew what it was, but I don't know that anybody knows it. Scream queens don't age like the other kinds of actresses.
You know what? That is totally right.
Like look at Cassandra Peterson. There's not a line on that woman's face.
No, and she's like 60 at least? No, more than that, because I beat off Elvira when I was like a youngin'.
Like they all look great.
Even
the ones that have like...
Do you think it's the Caro syrup in the fake blood?
No, I think they have so much fun with their work. That other than a director who's a dick or a coworker who's too handsy,
it has to be.
They don't have a lot of
like,
trauma at work.
Who ends the day feeling
And
better?
nobody has ever had, in these B-movie categories, you have never had a Me Too situation with these girls coming out with, oh, I couldn't work
Wes Craven,
I couldn't work with George Romero. He told me I had to give him a blowjob if I wanted a part. You've never heard it.
That's true. Horror. Unless I'm wrong.
And it goes back to...
Well, hold on. Wait a second.
No.
The guy that made Jeepers Creepers is a convicted child molester.
That is not a B-horror film. That is just a very bad film.
Yes.
But there's also... Like, think about it. These B films, yes, 1.3 million budget sounds like a lot to us who do not earn six figures. But when you look at the budget for things like Lord of the Rings, like those things...
Even in 1988, that was about $3 million.
Yeah.
So,
but then it earned...
and not a lot of money to make...
Then it earned double back.
So it made like 6 or 7 million. Yeah.
Okay. But these people were not paid millions per film. Okay, despite the fact that she's in all three films, Amelia Kinkade, did not make $6, $8, $10 million.
No, they probably made, I don't know, who knows?
And that then goes back to, are you willing to sell your soul for money to do these things and whatnot, to work your way up and to either become a bad person or to become a victim of a bad person to make that kind of money? You become... you know, the Rose McGowans, or do you become the Harvey Weinsteins? And that does not happen in this particular industry.
You have to deal with the
because
Harvey
they're not
Weinsteins.
chasing money and power. Most of the time, all this crew and the cast go into it expecting to make nothing.
Every B horror movie you've ever watched is a labor of love. And
it's somebody's baby project that he convinced other people to love too, and they all raised it to fruition together and released it into the wild as a family.
Who goes to bed happier? Who ends the day feeling better?
Right.
Linnea Quigley after she gets doused with fake blood, or Anne Hathaway on the set of Les Miserables, having to emote and do 20 press junkets. I mean, sure, Anne Hathaway's
for the Oscar, and Linnea's going, do it for the Razzie, do it for the Razzie.
This place was once a funeral parlor, wasn't it? What was that?
We're gonna get out of here.
Get up, Judy! I can't! Yes, you can!
Night of the Demons.
Where you going? The party's just begun.
Rated R.
You've been listening to Blazed and Reviewed.
Woo!
What are we gonna do with all these tossed salads and scrambled eggs?
I have no idea why.
I'll just keep all of it in.
Feels thinking to do all that.
All right.
Blazed and Reviewed along with Smut are part of the Downtown Delphi Studios. Give a like and a follow. We know it's primitive and it's early, but we hope you'll stick with us because we're really going to make this something fun. And remember, when you happen to finally get invited to that Halloween party, make sure to invite all the cute boys.
This has been Glazed and Reviewed. Please join us next time for another venture into the cinematic hellscape. Check out the Rin links to make friends, see our other projects, and have your gasters flabbered by art and writing. A production of Downtown Delphi Studio. Oh, and one more thing. We have a mailing list for you to keep informed about new episodes, new projects, and indispensable knowledge. Please consider signing up. Thank you for listening. Bye, 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 bye.